The Library Data Catalog is a collection of datasets made available by library units. This tutorial will teach you how to get your library data into the catalog so that it is discoverable and usable. The Library Data Catalog can be found on the assessment space in Confluence. The catalog is organized alphabetically by library units. When library units and their subunits share their data using the library data template and labels, it feeds into the catalog here. Also found on this space are guidelines. These guidelines will walk you through the same steps found in this tutorial. Getting your data into the catalog is simple. I'll show you how to access the template and what that entails, and then I'll give you an example of one that's already created. First, you'll want to make sure that you're on the space in Confluence where you want the data to live. In this case, if I were to create a template, it would live on the assessment space because that's where I currently am. To access the template, you click the ellipsis at the top bar. Scroll down until you find Library Data Template. Click Create. The template has three sections: Dataset Info that describes the data, Dataset where you link or attach your data, and Labels. You add labels to your template so that it feeds into the catalog. Let's look at the Dataset Info section. In this section, all the gray fields are required, and the white fields are optional but strongly encouraged. You'll want to add a title that includes enough detail to facilitate search and discovery. Add this same title to the page. The page title is what displays in the catalog. Add a description that will enable a user to quickly understand whether or not the dataset is of interest. There are no word limits in this section, so please be as descriptive as possible. Add keywords to help users discover your dataset, and add the most recent date on which the dataset was last changed. You'll want to do this anytime a change occurs. Add the library unit who is publishing the dataset. If there is more than one, add multiple. Add the contact person's name and email in case anybody has any questions. And add a public access level. There are three choices: public, which means that the data can be made publicly available without any restrictions, and by public I mean to the general public. Restricted public means the data is available under certain restrictions, and non-public, which means the data is not available to the public at all. In the right section, you could add more information regarding access and restrictions based on privacy, security, and other policies. And it's also an opportunity to provide a further explanation for why you selected the public access level that you chose. In the temporal section, add the date range of the dataset, and in more information, add any further information you want people to know about the dataset. Now let's look at the next section, where you link and attach your data. If you want your data to live outside of Confluence, say in Box or Google Sheets, you can copy and paste the URL here. If you want to attach your data, you do that after you publish the template. Lastly, let's look at the Labels section. Labels are listed alphabetically by library unit. If a dataset involves more than one unit, please add a label for each one. You add labels after you click Publish, so please copy or write these down before you do that. Now let's look at an example of some data that's been made available via the library template. These are my library grant stats. As you can see, I have a title, a description that explains what's in the spreadsheet, some keywords I thought were useful, the date of the last time I updated the spreadsheet, my library unit, my contact information. I chose restricted public because a lot of this data is already public. I just wanted people to contact me in case they publish or present on it. The date range for the data set, and I skipped the more information because I didn't feel that there was more detail I could provide that wasn't already in the description. I chose to have my dataset live in Confluence, so I drag and dropped the file here on the template. And I provided the financial management label because that's what unit I'm in. Now that I've created the template and added a label, it should show in the library data catalog. So if I go to the catalog and look under financial management, I'll find my library grant stats there. Let me leave you with a few tips. Pick a dataset that may be of interest to other library folks. Make sure that it's discoverable by describing it thoroughly. Use the same data template for data collected regularly. Just update the template over time. If you collect data that contains personally identifiable information or other information that must remain private, you should still complete the form. Just don't attach or link any data. It is helpful for others to know what data is being collected even if they can't access it. And lastly, feel free to add graphs or charts to your template. Thank you.